What's going on? It's your boy JR, a.k.a. Deuce Matty.
And this is Ray Daniels, a.k.a. the Culture Referee.
And it's the GAUDS Show.
And we have a special guest. Hold on, before we even start, make sure y'all like and subscribe, okay? Because I don't know if y'all noticed or not, but all this shit costs me. And if you just like and subscribe, it'll really make me happy, and I'll keep giving the game. So like, subscribe, download, tell your friends, share. We need it, right? We are a poor podcast, okay? We trying to get there, but I appreciate the love. Now, I have a special guest, one of my closest friends. I think he calls my mom. My bro. I love it. He's like one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. And the best way I like to describe this man, Damon Thomas, before we introduce is that I wasn't around during the Rick James fuck your couch era. Like, I always wish that I was around during the Rick James fuck your couch, nigga. I wish I was around for that, right? Because I'm like, that. So the closest thing I've ever experienced to that experience is rolling with my bro. Give it up for Damon motherfucking Thomas. Give it up for Damon Thomas, man. Thank you, Damon, for coming on the show. Shout out to my bro. I appreciate you coming.
This is my bro. I love him.
Hold on. First of all, this is gonna be like, we probably gonna have to do a 10 episode show.
We got a lot of stuff.
Y'all gonna see him all the time. That's why I need y'all to keep liking and sharing. But y'all gonna see him all the time. But yeah, man. So let's get into the show. You got a JR. Let's do that thing.
Yeah, man. You know, so I'm sitting here with two music savants. So first, I just want to ask both of y'all, you know, what songs you listen to right now?
What songs we listening to?
What songs am I listening to right now? I can't lie, man. I listen to. I don't want to say that because that's gonna start trouble already. You know what I've been listening to every day now? The 444 album.
Why?
Because I feel like, I believe that's in Jay's top 3 albums, but it just feels like it's an album about a black man who is trying to break through glass ceilings, and he gives you the motivation to break through those ceilings. So, you know, he just talk about, you know, he just was giving you a game, like, and it was his most vulnerable album, but I just like that he, you know, Hov has always been like the braggadocious, I'm the boss, you know, nobody better than me. So to hear him refer to himself as Dumbo, it's like, damn, bro. Like, so Jay-Z's 444 album, that's all I'm bumping right now. Just right now, that's what I'm bumping. What about you?
Well, it's different now. If you would have asked me this 6 months ago, I would have had a list, right? A popular list, right? But now I'm in songwriter kill mode. I want to beat my placement. Next year, I plan to beat my placement record. And I
What's your placement record?
85 songs in 1 year. So I plan on beating that. And that's real, no cap. That's what we beat. We did Dream Girls that same year. So that was 60, not concluding the 61 songs that we produced for Dream Girls. There was 85 placements that year.
So I want y'all to know, like, I really got some really powerful and legendary friends. And Damon was one half of the Underdogs. But before he even got to the Underdogs, he was one of the biggest writers in R&B, producers in R&B, period. But, man, I just got to tell y'all something, man. Like, so let me tell you how I met Damon. I just signed a deal with Rondor, with Kevin Hall, who y'all had y'all deal with.
We
right?
had our...
They had that, so they had to deal with. So, you know, Rondor had, you know, seats to the Lakers game, right?
Yep.
And if you ever been to a Laker game, the Lakers game has a VIP entrance that all the celebrities enter, right? But it's
so
like...
my tickets, by the way, let's be clear. My tickets were my tickets.
No. They had, that's what I'm about to get at. See what I'm saying? The Rick James show. That's the story I'm about to tell. That's what I'm saying. So we go to so you know, I'm like, every time I'm in LA, we going to the Laker game. We got our seats. So, you know, but we parked on the VIP line. So Lakers game, first of all, they Hollywood as fuck. Like,
it's the best.
It's like this
is Kobe era, by the way.
This is Kobe. I think the game we went to was Kobe versus LeBron, by the way. So it's crazy. But you had the VIP area that you could walk over to the VIP valet area where you could walk over to the VIP entrance, which is what we did. And then you had the entrance where your car was in the front of the door.
No question.
So we was in the VIP where we had to walk to the entrance. Damon was his car was in the front of the Staples Center.
Which car was it?
It was a white Rolls Royce, right? So Damon hops out a white Rolls Royce. I can't even, like, he didn't have a Jerry curl, but he should have. That's how his aura felt. It just felt like.
What year was this?
This had to be like 2009. It felt
so
like.
So check this out. In 2009, I jumped out the Rolls Royce. I'm chrome hard jewelry down.
I'm about to say
that's before the Migos and all them niggas started wearing any of that. I was doing that since '98.
No, so he jumps out the Rolls Royce. 3 bad chicks. He loud as fuck, calling everybody nigga. That's what I mean by Rick James. Everybody's getting referred to as nigga. The motherfucking white man with the fucking jacket on that lets you what's up, my nigga. That's my nigga right there. Oh, that's my nigga. It was like, I'm telling you, it felt like Rick James. I'm trying to tell you, the nigga should have had a jerry curl because it's like, this nigga is incredible. So he jumps out and he's like, yeah, you know, I got my, y'all sitting in y'all seats? Okay, good for y'all. We a little closer to the floor. Y'all holler at y'all.
Yeah, I'm right behind the basket.
He was like the king of the niggas. Like, it was like, you know, it's hard to have that. So I met him as that. So I always wanted to be cool with him because I'm brand new in the game. I'm like, I like this nigga. You know, because Kevin Hall was like, he's like a button-up guy. Like Kevin is like,
he's kind of square. I like him. Cool though.
No, he was the first guy. He was like the first true male mentor I had once I got in the game. He's actually somebody that changed my life. That's a whole other story. But he changed my life. So Kevin, love him to death. And, you know, but then, you know, Kevin's like, yeah, the Underdogs. And he would always brag on y'all because y'all just signed. I'm going to tell you when it was. It was when y'all just signed James Fauntleroy.
Yep.
And No Air was dropped. No Air, Chris Brown and Jordan Sparks was out. And they were like, I mean, it's like I said, this is the king of niggerdom. Like, it's like.
Now, let's say something about the Ron Dore deal. The Ron Dore Underdog Publishing deal was, first of all, you know, it was universal. So any contract that was given, that was a universal contract. So sometimes you hear writers online and they talking about the Underdogs, this and that and the other. They all hired their own lawyers to negotiate with Universal. Let's be clear, and that was a standard contract for new songwriters. Underdogs couldn't possibly give out a bad deal to someone because it was Universal.
So I'm gonna tell you. So I'm being honest with you, and you know I'll tell you, I've never heard nothing bad about y'all deals.
No, it was just it was a couple of the writers that were signed who. First of all, the most amazing thing to me is it's one female writer I know. She be online talking. She ain't never had no hit. How are you talking about your publishing deal and you ain't had no hit? People can be so ungrateful. You're not even talented. Harvey signed her. She know not to talk about me because I thought she was horrible. I didn't even sign her. She's not even. I said I don't even want to make no money off of her because she's so trash.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I can't think of her name right now. I'll think of it. But she's a female, and but she be talking trash, and then did some other people talk. But at the end of the day, the Underdogs provided a platform and a plate for everybody to eat.
Agreed.
There's a lot of millionaires from the Underdogs.
Agree. I ain't gonna lie. I showed up. I was trying to hang outside the studio to get in too. So,
and let's be clear, the Underdogs are Damon Thomas and Harvey Mason Jr. Anybody beyond that, we collaborated with. We had an Underdog camp. Don't you got a radar camp?
Yeah.
Does that make them radar? Does that make them?
No, me.
You or Tehran?
No.
They don't, right?
Hell
so
no.
don't.
We had a whole meeting about trying to. We was about to fight a couple of the people today because we was trying to have a whole meeting.
I got people online talking about they the co-founder. If you ain't,
what? Who said that?
I can't really say it because I don't want to. I know who said it, but you can't be the co-founder of the Underdogs. Damon and Harvey, they wasn't in them 200 meetings with us and Clive Davis. They didn't do no movies. You didn't do Dreamgirls. You didn't do Bobby. You didn't do Straight Outta Compton. You didn't do Pitch Perfect 1, 2, and 3. You didn't do Sing. You didn't do any of them movies. You ain't the Underdogs.
Now, and so, how did you and Harvey meet to become the Underdogs?
How did what?
How did you and Harvey meet?
Okay, Harvey and I met, and I didn't know. Hey, I didn't even know the whole story to this until Rodney Jerkins told me this after me and Harvey split. But Harvey and I met, and I had this in the house. The house that we started Underdogs in. Was that was my marriage house.
Yeah.
I had a studio.
We're gonna get to
that.
Y'all, I want y'all to understand. I want to just give him the show. I just want to give him the show. Go ahead.
So Harvey, here's the real story. Babyface told me after having this run of my first number one records were with Babyface. So
shout out to
that's my mentor.
Shout out to the GOAT.
He's the GOAT. Nobody beats him.
By the way, the show is called GOATs and Underdogs.
That's right.
Babyface is definitely on the GOAT.
He's on Babyface is on the GOAT list. Exactly. You got a GOAT in your arm.
And y'all the Underdogs.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't even think about that. That's crazy.
Yeah. So Babyface, he signed me, and I had an opportunity. Let me teach y'all about opportunity because I know you always talk about it.
I'm turning the show over to you.
I had a choice. Big John and Jody Gerson. Jody Garrison. They offered me 3 because I had done Brandy's first album and Tupac. That's my first entry.
Can I get a Tupac? I got to get a Tupac story.
We'll get a Tupac story.
It's Tupac.
But you know that Brandy.
Go ahead. Because you did one of my favorite Tupac records of all time.
The Brandy story ties into the thing you want to talk about.
Oh, no, but you did one of my...
Guess how old Ray J is when I do the Brandy album?
How old?
10.
Get the fuck out of here.
No, real talk. He's 10 years old. She's 13, 14, or whatever. He's 10, nigga.
Go ahead. All right, go ahead.
Well, he got that.
So y'all did. You and Harvey. Go ahead.
I was talking. What was I at?
Hey, man, see, I just want to tell y'all this your job.
signed you.
I would say because
your Babyface signed.
we really friends. We really friends. So I'm gonna be doing more laughing than anything else. Go ahead.
Check it out. So I have an opportunity. The opportunity is they want to give me $350,000, but Babyface tells me, "Hey, Kenny, I call him Kenny.
Call him Kenny.
Kenny tells me, "Hey, I'm gonna give you $75,000, but I'm gonna show you. I heard your music. I know how to make you." Great. I know how to turn you into a real producer.
Yeah.
I'm going to teach you how to, because at that time I'm making more tracks than I'm writing.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you how to write. And I'm going to show you how to do all of this stuff, right? But I'm only going to give you $75,000. I said, I'm going to take the $75,000.
So you have 5 times more money if you would have went with Big John and Joey.
I didn't want the check. I knew that I knew what I wanted to learn. And people make the mistake of, I got to get to the bag. Sometimes you got to get to.
You saw that? I just posted. Yeah, I just posted. I was like,
that's why I had to come on. That's why I called Jack. Put me on that motherfucker. Put me on there, cause I know what to say.
Nah, but sometimes because everybody is so busy being fooled by money.
Yeah, it's you got to go long. You got to think of your long-term thing more than you got to think about that bag that's in front of you. And I thought about that. And let me tell you the thing. What Babyface didn't tell me, because he was getting $150,000, I think, a song at that point. What he didn't tell me is, I'm going to give you 40 of that.
For real?
Yeah, I got that. So I made up for the first 300, and I made more than that the first year. But he never told me I was going to get that.
So what was your first hit that y'all... No, hold on. So what was your first hit you did with Babyface?
The first song that I did with Babyface that came out was Never Gonna Let You Go by Faith Evans. And that was written by you know who, but I ain't gonna say that right now. But listen, hold on. That was my first #1 record, and then I did These Are the Times, and that was the second one with Baby.
Drew Hill.
Yeah.
Incredible. You know he did the other time with Drew Hill.
I don't know.
You're gonna find out how legendary he is.
No, okay. Can I tell you something about that? Let me tell you the difference between, because Teron, your partner, writes a lot of Hot 100.
Yeah.
And what I've done, I've changed my career. I'm in conversion mode. Next year, I'm gonna have records come out, right? They're gonna be Hot 100 records, because the Underdogs, we did Hot 100 records, but we did a lot of R&B songs, right? And the difference between an R&B copyright and the Hot 100 copyright is night and day. I remember getting my first, because I did Pink, right? And Pink was on the face. And we did a song called Most Girls, and then we had to put in this toy, right? And the toy sold, so we got the publishing from the toy.
What?
And my royalty check was like bananas. I said, this ain't what the Brandy check look like. You got $1 million over here versus $150,000. It was different.
Oh wow!
So and as creatives, we never think, let me go for. As business people, you got to think. You could be like, I want to be stuck. I got to do R&B. I got to say this. You got to get on the Hot 100. Go. It's a business. Go where the business is going to drive. Write the records that are going to drive you to get the most money.
Go the route that's going to take. I know this sounds crazy, but go the route that's going to take the longest.
Yes.
Because the people and we know a lot of people that took the elevator.
Took the elevator.
Man, you wouldn't believe how many people I seen take the elevator. But the higher you get, if you don't get that stamina up, climbing up them stairs, the air is thinner up there.
Yeah, it is.
So you took the elevator, but you can't breathe up there like you once was. You got to, so I always say, take the route that's going to make you the best. Because if you take the route that's the quickest, bro, you're going to get there.
Yep.
But then, like Jeff Dixon always says, won't be around next year.
Well, because I've been doing this. I'm a 3-generational producer. That means I've been in this for 30 years. Right, since I was 18. So if you look at after having this #1 records with Babyface, and he tells me, "Hey man, you gotta go do your own thing." Man, that crushed me.
What do you mean? Hold on, why did he tell you that though? Like, what happened?
Because I think first of all, you gotta think he's Babyface. He's the biggest person in the world. I just think he said, "Hey, I don't think that people are gonna see past my name and ever know who you are."
Man, shout out to Babyface. That's fire.
So he threw me out there on this.
And then you go out, so you leave Babyface. So
now,
what happens?
I'm sorry. Now you got to go get it again, right?
But you got a name though, and you got hits under your belt.
Yeah, I got a name. So I go to Rodney Jerkins to work on Michael Jackson. I can say that, right? I go to work on Michael with Rodney, and that's where I meet Harvey Mason Jr.
And what was he doing in the room?
He was the engineer but he also produced and wrote. but he was really, the way I saw it, was the engineer, right? I didn't know that he was. I didn't know he was. He's, by the way, he's one of the most amazing producers on the planet, right?
He's literally like, I call Harvey the R&B Dr. Dre.
Yeah, he is, because he can mix.
Yeah.
He's gonna produce vocals. He's gonna do all of that. And I think the great combination with us is I'm a creative force. I'm gonna write 1,000 songs.
And how many keys you got in your hands? How many chords you got?
550 billion and counting. I'm bigger than McDonald's on the count.
Let me tell you something. The first time I met him, I'm an A&R Epic. I walk in the room and I'm like, I know who they are, obviously, and I met him with Kevin. But he don't know this at the time. This years later, I'm just like, oh, the Underdogs, hell yeah. I walk in the room, he gives me a big hug, like he knew me forever. He said, you know how many motherfucking chords I got in my hand? 550 billion chords. That's what, like I said, he was like
I was
Rick James.
50 million back there.
He's like Rick James. I got how many motherfuckers got 550 billion chords in their motherfucking fingers right now? And I'm like, I don't know any. I do, nigga. Now you know somebody. Now let's make some fucking hits. And I'm like, I want to work with this dude. I just want to work with this dude.
It was energy for me. You know what? We had a lot of people around. And you got to be that guy that's. Harvey is quiet. He's not saying nothing. So I was the one who would get the room going, get the writers going, get everybody excited. That was kind of we definitely were yin and yang in terms of, and I think that works in partnerships.
Exactly. So y'all met, and then y'all met at Rodney Jerkins' studio, and then y'all decided.
We went to go work on Michael Jackson. I was working on Michael for a week with Rodney, and I did this amazing track, and Harvey told Rodney, I didn't know this at the time. Hey man, I can do what he do. We don't need to work with him. This is amazing. Harvey, I'm not dissing you. This is great.
But he made his move.
Yeah, he made his move.
Harvey's also
smart.
one of the smartest. I was about to say Harvey's also one of the smartest.
He's smart.
He one of the smartest men.
He made his move, and there was some fallout that I can't speak about, and to respect both of them, because I respect both of them. And Harvey called me. He was like, "Hey man, you want to let's make a record together?" And we wrote "I Like Them Girls." The first song we did was "I Like Them Girls" for Tyrese Gibson, and Jay Valentine, of course, he wrote that record with us. That was the first Underdog song, and we sold that song. Can I tell you about that?
Tell me.
This is bigger than the publishing deal in itself. Now, talking to Jay said that we sold it 4 times, but I only believe we sold it 3 times. And this is how
you sold the same song 3 times.
Hold on, this is gonna get great. So at this point, Larry Jackson calls me. He doesn't know about the Underdogs yet. He just knows that I'm hot, and he wanted to work with me. And I said, well, I got a partner now, and we starting this new thing. I don't even think we titled it yet, but we're gonna be a production team like Jimmy and Terry, and or LA and Babyface. He said, I'm in. And that was our connection to Clive. Clive pretty much changed our entire lives. I love Clive, love Doug Davis, Fred Davis. They all
first person to ever put me on a plane from the music business for a meeting was Larry Jackson.
Yeah, Larry Jackson's legit. By the way, for all you guys, ambition. That's the word I was looking for before. Y'all said tenacious.
Yeah.
Okay. There he was 17. It's smart. He was brilliant when he started. Right? So we do I Like Them Girls for Tyrese, right? Mm-hmm. By the way, I'd already been working on. Tyrese wasn't on Jay yet. Mm-hmm. Okay, we were working on other stuff for Clive. Mm-hmm. But okay, so let's go back to I Like Them Girls. It went to whatever label Tyrese. He was with RCA at the time. So Kevin, Anthony Morgan, sold it to Anthony Morgan for $100,000. The first Underdog song went for $100,000. Yeah. Right, because I'm already thinking I done left Babyface. I got to get to that 100. I got #1 records. Exactly. Run it up. No niggas is getting $100,000 a record right now. Nobody. Ever. It's not ever happening.
It's not gonna happen again.
And I thought that we were losing by only getting 100 because R. Kelly and Timbaland and Babyface was getting 150, 250.
Yeah, Timbaland got like I think I actually had a rumor that Timbaland got $500,000 for a track.
Yeah.
Nobody today getting $100,000 for a record?
Fuck no.
Why?
It's not happening. It's just different business.
It's the way the business works.
It's just shifted.
Let me say this. If you're someone and you're going in, first of all, if you know anything about pop music, the advances don't matter to them.
Yeah, they don't care.
Like they don't care.
And I'm in that era.
In pop music, like in black music, I'm just gonna be honest. Like in black music, it's all about the check first, right? But like in pop music, like the guy, I don't even know his name, Chris Antonoff, that did the whole Taylor Swift album. He probably didn't even care what his advance was, because for them, they know that they're gonna sell millions of records and they're gonna get more points and no more everything. So, but now in today's era, I mean, if you did Taylor Swift's whole album, you get 100,000 a track if you want to. Ain't nobody. Drake ain't ever paid nobody 100,000. Like you got to look at it like who can afford to pay.
So the only people who get 100,000 a track is people who are featuring on people's records.
Or like if you like
it could be switched.
If you like Lady Gaga and you want to get $100,000, but Lady Gaga ain't working with JR and Ray. Lady Gaga is working with her friends.
Her friends.
And when you in the room with your friends, it's not money is last.
Yep.
The only thing that matters is let's make the best record. Like
they're not tripping off of splits. Yeah. They're not doing none of that.
None of that shit matter to them. It's just literally we're gonna make the best song we can make. Period. That's the only goal.
Yeah.
So look, I got a couple questions for y'all that we're gonna really get into.
Let me finish the Harvey. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I took over your.
No, go ahead. No.
Yeah.
Don't. This is the only rule. I like what Damon likes. You know how Khaled said I like what Drake like. I like what Damon like. Whatever Damon wants to talk about.
Yeah.
That's what we gonna talk about.
So y'all can edit this however you
edit.
But listen, check it out. So in the transition of the Underdogs, after we do the first song, I was selling the song. So you got to put this on the interview. This is great. So we sell it to $100,000 to RCA, and then Tyrese, because all artists, Tyrese didn't want to sing "How You Gonna Act Like That." We're gonna get to that later. Our artist decided I don't like that song back then because there was a lot of money, a lot more money. He said he didn't want the song. I was like, cool, nigga. Sold that shit to Sam Salter, the LA Reef, for $100,000. Another 100 Bow Wow. Sam Salter gets dropped. So now we gotta like them girls again. And Tyrese decides he wants it back. Well, nigga, if you want it back, run it up. All day long. So that song went for a few $100,000. According to Jay Valentine and them, they said I sold it 4 times, but I only sold it 3 times, right? And then from then, we did song deals. And they started it with Clive. That's when we started the Clive era.
And it's something very important you got to know. The way you run it up, like Timbaland got that much money, Polo got that much money, right? But you had to have a home, right? So when I came in the music business, everybody knew Pharrell, Timbaland, no, not Pharrell. I don't know if it's Timbaland. Pharrell, Dre, those Jimmy guys.
Yep. No, it was Dre. Pharrell.
will.i.am.
Yeah, will.i.am.
Polo. Yep. Those are Jimmy guys. So the only way you're going to get a record from one of Jimmy's guys is if you're going to pay more. Because the only way Jimmy is going to feel comfortable letting his guy sell a record because no CEO, well, it's so different now.
Yeah, it's different.
The business, I mean, bro,
ain't nobody running
the
like
business.
that.
It was nobody's running like that. So like the business was like you knew who was with who. It was like everybody had teams. So Polo, Tim, Pharrell, fucking Dre, those was Jimmy guys. Like, look at history. How many records has Dr. Dre produced outside of Interscope?
None.
Like maybe a Dr. Dre record, maybe a Mary J. Blige, but Mary J. Blige wound up signing the Interscope.
Yeah.
So, but then the Underdogs were Clive's guys.
So Puff Diddy, Clive's guys.
Yeah. So if you ask
LA and Babyface, Clive's guys.
Yeah. So if you ask Damon for a record, you're gonna have to pay top dollar because he's Clive's guy.
Period.
Like,
no negotiation.
And not only that, no, but here's how it goes. You knew you called him and you wanted to pick Clive's pocket. Like, I spoke to Clive Davis one day for an hour on a Saturday afternoon.
Ray Daniels.
One day, we spoke for an hour on a Saturday, and it was about buying a record. It was about buying a record. And I was in the car with my uncle, and my Uncle Michael, who lives with me, and he was like, and I put it on speakerphone, and he was like, who was that? I said, Clive Davis. He was like, well, why the fuck? He's trying to sell you on something. And he's like, Jimmy doesn't have a voice like Whitney over there. Because we were Jimmy's guys, right? So we was Jimmy's guys. We really wasn't. We was Akon's guys.
Right.
Akon was Jimmy's guy.
Akon was definitely Jimmy.
Akon was Jimmy guy. And then Jimmy, it's like literally we're going to need 20 shows. I ain't going to lie.
We're going to need 20 shows.
Because there's so much shit. Like we was Akon's guys and Akon was Jimmy guy. So we kind of by default was Jimmy's guy. Even though we didn't really talk to him like that. It was just, oh, your guys did a song? Akon, give it to me. So it was a song we did. And I'm going to interrupt you really quick. It was a song we did. We played a record for Clive, and it was a song we did called Mrs. Glass. We wrote it, and Jimmy was like, I'm cutting this on Eve. It's a record we wrote for, we just wrote it, but Jimmy was like, I'm cutting it on Eve. And we like, Eve? Eve's not a singer, she's a rapper. Eve can sing it. We're cutting it on Eve. So Clive Davis hears it. He's like, I want it on Whitney. It's going to be a Whitney single. the bullshit. So now I'm like, you know, I'm new to the game. I just don't want to fuck up. Man, shout out, bruh. This is how I know Larry Jackson is a fucking monster.
He is.
No, Larry Jackson, he's quiet.
His vocabulary
is
beyond any human being.
But he's quiet, brilliant, but I didn't know, you wouldn't know he had that in him. And I remember I played Mrs. Glass for for Clive, and now Larry called me for a year to get that song. A year. I got Eve version. I still have Eve's version, by the way.
You do?
Yeah. And then I have who it came out on, which was Leona Lewis.
Oh, yeah.
It came out on Leona Lewis, which, mind you, Leona Lewis wasn't even in the picture when we started the conversation. Clive was trying to get it. So I got one hand. So the conundrum was I'm walking around and I'm telling people I'm in the middle of a bitter war of a song. And Clive is like, no. And everybody's like, who? I said, Eve or Whitney Houston. Eve or Whitney? What you talking about? Eve is a rapper. Whitney. I said, well, it's a hit. They gonna find a way.
Yeah, they are.
Nigga, they not letting no hit walk out the door. That doesn't exist in today's music industry.
Yep.
That doesn't exist. But when you had a hit, if they knew you had a hit, every chairman, everybody was on your shit to get that record. And they was talking shit about each other. And I'm fucking shocked. Like Clive was like, Jimmy doesn't care about you guys winning. Because why would you give a record that Whitney can sing to Eve? He just wants to keep your song. And I'm like, he's right. But I'm like, we signed over there. I'm with this motherfucker. I can't do it. So I was like, Clive, I can't do it. All right. And then here come Larry. Here come LJ.
What did he do?
A year straight, he called me at least once every week or 2 weeks.
Yeah, he
and would talk to me for 30, 40 minutes about the song. Yeah, man, Ray, I know you're over there with Jimmy, but man, did you see what we did with such and such? Did you see how many albums Whitney's last album sold? Eve is, and it was like and I'm just like, damn, Larry, you relentless. And bruh, Clive got that goddamn song.
The only time that Clive ever let an Underdog song go by him, and this is one of the biggest Underdog songs, because he caught everything. He was smart. One time we came in the song that was just okay. He told me it felt saccharine. I had to look. I'm like, what the fuck does saccharine mean? I had to look it up. It means sweet. It was too sweet. It wasn't hard enough. I needed to be, more cool. He's one of the coolest ever to me. He changed our lives completely. But the song is No Air. We go in there and play No Air, and they just quiet. They didn't say nothing. I think we were trying to, at that point, me and Harvey were maybe thinking Backstreet Boys or something because they needed something. I don't remember who it was. But it went right by him. And then they called us after the song came out. Can you give us a song like No Air? After it came out. That was the only
But
time.
I thought it came out on Sony.
It did. He just missed it.
Oh, wow.
They missed the only song they caught everything else. All the hits, they knew what they was. I think they were so used to us doing How You Gonna Act Like That or How Could You? Because they do that's them, all of them records. Mm-hmm. That just went right by him.
Okay, you can finish the story. I just had to interrupt my Clive Davis story, but you have way more. So finish your story about you sold the record, and now y'all create the Underdogs.
So so we create the Underdogs. And it took us, by the way, I like them girls, and this is fair because if you listen to a Damon track, it's going to sound like I was working with Babyface. And if you listen to a Harvey track at that time, it would sound like he worked with Rodney. So I like them girls. It was very dark, childish. And them niggas was hot when they heard that.
Who was?
Rodney.
Shout out to Rodney.
Right, shout out to Rodney.
Is my...
Yeah, love you, Rodney.
I love
you, Rodney.
RJ, man.
Rodney, and I apologize.
He a fucking monster.
He's a monster.
He a monster. He'll give you a Bible verse in the middle of coming to get some business. That nigga, he is not. He don't play.
But to be fair, we both. It took us until songs released in 2002, to find our own thing, right? And I think the Underdog sound started with a song called "Gots to Be" written by Little Steve from Troop, and me and Harvey. But it started from that sound, and Steve was I think that was the first song we did the dry drums and the stuff that just kind of felt dry. Mm-hmm. We was getting away from the pretty, the pretty stuff, just to make it sound urban, right? And then we did a song. There was another song we did from Mario on his first album called "What Your Name Is," and that was probably I said, okay, I'm finding it now. And then those are things that we co-wrote with Little Steve.
Yeah.
And then little Steve got mad at us and left. Right? He came back, but he left at that point in time because he's a co-writer.
Why you laughing at the name Little Steve?
I love little Steve. He's my brother.
Got you.
Shout out to little Steve. Shout out to Troop. There would be no, we wouldn't have been able to create this stuff without these guys.
Exactly.
And then there was, so then the day that I pulled up to the house, we're going to get to the pull up at the house, I met Eric Dawkins that day. So it was a trade-off for me. Eric Dawkins is one of the greatest human beings ever, one of the greatest songwriters ever, and we wrote How You Gonna Act Like That together. That was the first song we ever done together, but I met him at Brandy's house. Mm-hmm. I pull up in my Ferrari, and
I'm telling you,
Ray J's on the front porch of Brandy's house. By the way, I'm the one that introduced Kim and Brandy.
But you also introduced Ray J. No, Ray J also met. You was there the day Ray J met
Kim. Yeah, Kim. And I saw the look, and I said, "Oh shit, I'm in a convertible."
What did the look say? What did the look say?
Oh man, you know what it is. You know they was on that bullshit. So I pull up, and then I walk in the house, and I see Eric on the piano. So I'm not paying no attention to Kim at this point. They doing whatever they doing. I'm trying to get to Eric Dawkins because I knew who he was. I swear I was in the Matrix. I had to move to Georgia to get out the Matrix so I could really think about all the shit that happened and really kind of take it all in for what it really is. Now I can talk about it. But Georgia saved my life because I was in the Matrix. Kanye right now. I'm sorry, Kanye. My boy's in the Matrix. I love you, Kanye. First of all, I think that he's one of the best rappers on the planet Earth.
Yes.
I can now wear Yeezys now that they're divorced.
Yes.
And
so hold on, you won't wear Yeezys because he's
I
married
never
to
had
your
a pool.
ex-wife.
Hey, can you send me a box?
So you never wore Yeezys because he's married to your ex-wife?
No, I never wore. Yeah. But I'll wear them now if he sends them to me.
Okay.
I'll wear them all. But anyway, so I pull up in. I see the little friction going on with Ray J and Cam or whatever. And we were at a space anyway where, I was cool.
Rough times.
It was rough times. I knew what it was. I had this girl. I can't say her name, and she was bad as hell. And Kim laid out in front of. I can't really say.
Mind you, so I just want y'all to know, this is my friend. So a lot of the times, I gotta make sure that they cool with shit because we got the book coming.
Yeah.
So a lot of shit. It was my okay. So
let's talk about that.
When I met Damon, like I said, he was like, nigga. And I remember I was like, we was talking one day, and we was talking about how he was married to Kim and all this other shit. And I was like, man, man, you need to do a book, man. He was like, yeah, I'll do one. Let's do it. I was like, yeah, let's do a book. And I was like, man, we need to call that shit the First King of Calabasas.
That's hard.
That's hard, right? He was like, that's it. We're gonna get a partner. We write the book called The First King of Calabasas. I'm like, bro, you was the first one. Everybody live in Calabasas now, but you was the first.
We were one of the first. I mean, there's a lot of people living in Calabasas.
I'm saying, but you were the first.
Yeah, from our culture,
king of the niggas.
Yeah. I'm in Lambos in California.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's probably Lambos everywhere in Calabasas.
Yeah, everybody driving them like they.
But back in that time, they saw a Lambo, they knew that was Damon.
That was me, a Ferrari and a Lambo. I'd go to the club. I'd have my assistant drive the Ferrari, and I'm in the Lambo. That's how we pulled up.
Don't get no ideas, Jay.
It was, huh?
No, I said don't get no ideas to my assistant.
Oh yeah, he got a nice haircut, so he gonna definitely be in the Lambo.
I don't know. You can only fit one in the Lambo.
Hey, that's the whole point.
You can only fit like 1 or 2 in the Lambo.
That's all you need. You got to have a second car for everybody else.
Hold
on. You can me pull up.
Man, can I please tell a Mr. Child story? Man, I'm sorry. Like I know we all over the place, man. I'm sorry. I'm fucking up your interview. But this is my fucking brother right here. Let me tell you the story.
What did I do?
So hold on, listen. So this is my first time at Epic. So like I've always been good. But I ain't really ever been around it until I started working for L.A. Reid. And L.A. would L.A. was the first dude to be like, yo, Justin Timberlake, you need to know Ray. Mary, you need to know Ray. J-Lo, you need to know, like, he was that guy, right? So now I'm hanging out with Damon. And Damon like, hey, what you doing tonight? I'm like, shit, man. I'm with you. You know me. I'm with you. Whatever. So he said, oh, nigga, we going to Mr. Childs. So I was like.
I said this today at dinner because I came to dinner. I said, I've been to Mr. Childs and eaten 2,000 times.
No, listen. So he tells me, we're going to Mr. Childs. So I'm like, all right, let's go Mr. Childs. So I was like, bro, it's about to close. Oh, close? Yeah. Nigga, watch this, nigga.
It's midnight.
It's like 11 o'clock at night. Yeah. He called him, hey, this is Damon. We on our way. And mind you, he didn't have a credit card. He had nothing but cash.
Yeah, I'm in there.
And when we walked in, he's dapping everybody up at the restaurant who's waiting on only us. Mind you, we ate there for like 2 hours. Just
Yeah,
me, you, and like some chicks. And we walked in and he was dapping everybody up. And these are like Asian guys, very like respectful. And every time he's dapping them up like, what's up, my nigga? And he giving them all hundreds as he dapping them up. And everybody's just like happy as fuck. He like,
No, I can tell you the nationalities. Christian was white. He was French.
Yeah.
And then there was the other dark haired dude. I think he was Italian.
he's giving everybody hundreds.
Yeah.
My nigga, that's my nigga. Hey, you know what I want?
That's tough.
I want blah, 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 blah. You know what I want? And they giving it to him.
For the record, y'all, I don't know if I said the N word that many times.
No,
I did.
I'm trying to tell you. That's incredible. Because you got to understand something. Like, that was incredible to me. Because I'm like, this nigga's calling everybody the way. Hey, Nick. That's my, and he wasn't saying it like, he's like respectful, like,
Yeah.
That's my nigga right there. You know the cake I want? Yes, Mr. Thomas. And I'm just sitting there with him. I'm just like, this nigga's really like the first king of Calabasas, bro.
Well, I had a good time.
I ain't never been around you and I had a good time.
I had a good time.
I ain't never been around you, but, okay, so I know we all over the place. What
So
we at
listen,
now?
that's a great segue. So, you know, it's a lot of conversation going on in the internet right now. Kanye posted some allegations about Kim. So, you know, you've been married to her before. So what do you think about that?
Ray J.
What does that mean?
Yeah, we elaborate. We need some.
It's the same damn thing, ain't it? The
That happened to
book
you.
don't change. Ray J. Yeah, it's the same thing. Look, I have a lot of respect for her. She's a winner. She's a billionaire, whatever they're saying. She's working, doing her thing. But she do her thing the way she do her thing. Women are empowered to do what they want to do. Guys think they only want to go get somebody else. She went and got somebody else. Turned out, I guess it was that nigga from Phoenix Suns.
So how the fuck?
Yeah, if you want to play, she played too. That's what it is. Women gonna do what
Girls
men
can
gonna
be
do.
girls can be players too.
Yeah. Babyface told me something. He asked me a question. Did you mess around on? It was a relation. Did you mess around on that girl? I said, well, yeah. Well, why can't she mess around on you too? Changed my life. From then on, I didn't mess around on nobody else. Because you can't expect because you're a man that they can't do it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just did what he probably was doing. That's all.
So, you know, if I'm a black man about to enter the Kardashian family, what's the rules to survive? How do you survive?
Nigga, do what I did. I'm still here.
What did you do?
What'd you do? How'd you survive?
I'm gone.
Ducking and
I
dodging.
filed for divorce. I'm out of there.
Ducking and dodging.
Yeah, no, they great people, man. They're some of the, look, that's one of the nicest families I've been around, and they're nice. But I knew I wanted to do something. I wanted to do it my way, a different route. I'll take my 25 mil opposed to having $1 billion and be happy. I'm happy as hell.
Yeah, but you always have it no matter what this is.
Yeah. Can you survive off 25 mil?
Yeah.
What you need $1 billion for? That don't make you happy. That makes you even went through some shit to get to that $1 billion. Now I still think I can make $1 billion in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm smarter now and I'm in the ownership. And I got this man right here. We're gonna go get the bag. Period.
You're fucking right.
But you know, you have to be like, so with that being said, like for instance, ownership, I didn't even know what that was. We were making so much money and so much money was being thrown at us that I didn't get that. I can't take my song Never Gonna Let You Go and put it on Instagram right now without me getting a notice 5 minutes later saying, you don't own, I own the publishing, but you don't own
The rights to this
rights to this song. You know what that means? They own the masters. Everybody does. That's what a lot of people say about that, you know. So moving forward, I decided two things. Like when I got here 4 years, he's the reason I'm here, first of all.
I was always telling you to come to Atlanta.
You need to come here. And when I got here, he said, you can't leave, so I stayed. I was only coming here to do a gig. Yeah. He said, stay here, so I'm here, right? And I met my partner, and we built this pop label, and we're doing some other things. But the point that I'm making is the transition from Harvey sounding like Rodney and me sounding like Babyface took a few years. It took me a few years here to figure out what I'm doing. So outside of my label stuff, which I'm going to own, now I'm placing records with Usher and Cardi B and all the different things. But I want to be on the same chart that Teron's on. I don't want to be on that lavender chart. What color is
By the way, he's the first person to ever tell me that. I don't want to be on the purple chart. I want to be on the red chart. Like, he was always telling me like, and I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about?
You want to be on it because it's not about money for me. Do you think I think about money when I go in the studio?
No, fuck no.
No, but when you look at them, when you want them residuals, you want the stuff to be right?
Exactly.
I get Dreamgirls checks because we were smart in placing ourselves as producers into movies. When we did the movie,
Straight Outta Compton, right? You worked on Straight Outta Compton.
We had to redo the music for that because they didn't have the master.
To the mic, they gotta get you the
I'm
mic.
sorry, they didn't have the master, so we had to go redo those tracks, and we did that with a couple of our engineers, Andrew Hay and. I can't think of the other guy that worked for us, but we redid this stuff, and I'd have to go to the studio every day at 8 a.m. to cut. I cut the rap stuff. Harvey cut the singing stuff. So I would cut Ice Cube's son, O'Shea, and I would cut Jason Mitchell, who played Easy. We cut all those vocals. So when you're watching the movie, sometimes you're not hearing the. Most of the time, you're not hearing the original song. Yeah. We had to make that shit sound like that, and we did that. That's like people don't even realize that. That's crazy. You know.
Could you give us a Suge story?
I'll give you a Suge story.
No, but I really want to Smile. First of all, he did one of my top 5 Tupac songs is Smile.
Smile, yeah, Smile.
Smile for me. Damon did that.
So I'll give you the story. The story is, and everybody's heard this. I did that in the thing, but I'll give it to you. You know, I met Suge because of Danny Boy Stewart.
Yeah.
Danny Boy liked me because I did this stuff on Brandy's first album. And he was like, Suge, I want him because Danny Boy was R&B, so I wasn't going to Death Row to do rap. But when Suge heard me do one song for Danny Boy that went on the soundtrack. What's the movie that Tupac did?
Above the Rim?
No, 96.
The cop movie.
Yeah, the cop movie.
Yeah, I did
So it went on that soundtrack. By then, that was my first end title. I did a song with Danny Boy that was the end title. I didn't even know what the end title was. End title's huge. So now, if I'm in the Underdogs, we doing all the music for a movie, and then the end title is the last song for the movie. Like Rihanna's song for Wakanda,
Wakanda exactly.
is the end title. You want that end title. That's huge. Exactly. You can get an Oscar because of that. You can get all kinds of stuff happens, right?
Exactly.
So back to Suge. So Suge hears that song. You can work with Tupac, and then Suge wanted to name me Assassin. I'm a church nigga. I'm like Assassin. So I'm like, I can't. My mom and I can't be called the Assassin, nigga. You the Assassin, right? Everybody called him Simon. By the way, they didn't even call him Suge. Everybody
for real?
Called him,
oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they called him Simon. So let me. My experience with Suge was crazy because he was always super kind to me. Until he got out of prison and he didn't have no money, he was tripping with people a little bit, but I was never afraid. You want me to tell the one when I wasn't afraid?
No, I want you to tell the one how the Tupac Smile, how did that come around?
It came about like this, because there's a song called For the Fight. I did the fight for the Mike Tyson movie. I did that. When you go watch, you can pull it up online, the Mike Tyson fight Tupac song before he got shot. I did that record. I had that track done when he got there.
Oh, wow.
He walks into the booth. By the way, he was at a studio called Track Records. That ended up being the Underdog studio. So this is 10 years or 20 years prior to us taking over that studio, right? And so I work with him. I do the last records with him. And he said, you got another record, another beat? I had my equipment there, so I created another beat. Nigga wrote that one. You got another beat? I'm like, God, dog. So we stayed up until, we didn't go to bed. We stayed up all night. I kept creating beats.
Was your songs the last he recorded before he passed?
The last ones. I'm the last producer to ever do pop.
That's crazy.
Period. So we do like 10 records in one night. And on one song, he's talking about doing something to Jay-Z. And that's when I got scared. I said, oh, they tripping, right? Because I'm not even in rap music. I'm an R&B producer at this point.
Exactly.
They threw me into rap music. My first rapper to work with was Tupac. Damn. At his height.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you can make a beat, you can make anything. You know what I mean? Like half of that, if you think of Drake and Chris Brown song, that's an R&B beat. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not about a rap beat first. So this is about music, making great music, things that feel good. So Smile For Me came, and Sugar got Scarface on it, because I did 2 versions of it. There's a couple versions of it, because after he passed, we had to figure out how we wanted to make everything sound, because some of those tracks weren't all the way done. So I had to go back in and produce and work on those tracks. And the Outlaws jumped on some of the songs. That was his crew at the time. And it was crazy, because I had never seen anybody that talented before, ever. Brandy's that talented in a different way, but as a rapper, he just wrote so fast, and he smoked so. I had never been around weed like that. I didn't drink or smoke or anything, so it messed me up. I was tore up. I had contact high because he smoked so much weed, right? But he was super nice, super kind, and one of the most talented people I ever worked with.
So I got a question. Yeah. Give me some of your hits that you wrote, and tell me who they were about.
I know what you're getting at, right?
I just want you to know. I'm saying because I feel like a lot of artists and stuff listen to it, and sometimes I always say write about your life, right? Real shit.
I'm just gonna go with how you're gonna act like that. So Eric is more the bigger writer on that. I'm the music. I wrote the music, right? And because I did the music, I had to put that. I think I sent that record to Kim because she was tripping. That's when the cheating started, right? And then
you cheating or her cheating?
we both was.
I'm saying, but you said
she started it. But it don't make it right. Just because somebody starts something, you don't supposed to go do it too. That's what I've learned as an adult. You don't do that. But anyways, that was the first one, and then I bought her a new Mercedes, right? It like,
yeah, got you.
You know, like your Mercedes, like I had the big boy. She had the big boy on rims, right? I'm sorry, my mic on rims, and then I had the 2-door convertible on rims. So we had kind of like this Mercedes thing going. What nobody had? Didn't nobody our age have that?
Yeah.
So we running around LA. So when she starts to mess with Ray J, them niggas is riding around in my car. So I'm talking about this story, and it's me, Eric, Harvey, Tony Dixon, and Jay Valentine. By the way, Tony Dixon, you talked about the song "Oh" recently this week. Stop leaving my name out of shit, nigga. Period. We gonna have a problem. For real. I can't stand lying ass niggas. But anyway, I'm gonna mention his name, even though he did that.
Yeah.
Sort of like, if just because somebody cheat, don't mean you gotta cheat with them.
Exactly.
Nigga, stop playing with me.
Exactly.
All right. So, how could you? We was talking about
how could you, Mario?
How
could you let somebody?
There's lines. I remember the lines.
Tell me. I want you.
How could you? Eric knew the story. He knew I was hot. I was hurt.
Yeah.
And Eric was like, "How can you let him in the front and leave me in the back seat? How could you live?" And then Jay Valentine came with the, "How could you give that nigga that ghetto Kama Sutra?" We was in there with bars, but wasn't nobody else saying that on no R&B song.
Exactly.
That's what made the Underdogs special.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so we came with that. That's one of them records. That was definitely about. So Eric just broke up with his fiance. I was, and look, I had Tank Tyrese living with me in my mansion on top of Coldwater, because I was distraught. But we made up for it for a whole year. I had a pool that was 105 degrees every day, and we called it the hot dog water. And the girls was in that thing, and so that's what we did. Yeah. Then we should make a movie about the hot dog. It's legendary. Tyrese didn't even drink, but he made the drinks for all the girls that would come over, right? I'm making their hits, and we having a good time.
Exactly.
And it's gonna all be in the book.
The book is
definitely legendary.
Coming. First King of Calabasas
is coming. Calabasas.
We already got the first draft. Yes. Already written.
Yeah, so we come with it. It's not just about. It's not going to be some salacious book. It's going to be about the music business.
But I think it's also. Life. But I think it's also about telling the story of, like you didn't care. I always tell people, I'm like, man, your story matters. And I think, Drake got the song. What's the song Drake got with Calabasas? Freestyling Calabasas, something like that. Yeah. So it's like it's famous now, right? Yeah. But first person that I knew was out there was you.
Yeah, but I feel like when I listen to Drake records, he talking about it. I feel like I did. I'm sorry. I feel like when I listen to Drake songs, he's talking about that stuff. I feel like I lived that movie already, a different version of it, for real. Like he's just going through what I went through. He just got way more money than I had at that time. I was a struggling millionaire. He's a billionaire. So
he was a struggling. What is a struggling millionaire?
A nigga that ain't got 100 million yet. If you ain't got 100 million yet, you can spend all that shit you got. You got 10 million, it could be gone if you're not smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a struggling millionaire. You gotta be smart. Like you're a smart millionaire.
Yeah.
Everybody's not smart.
Yeah. Appreciate you. I appreciate it.
So you taught us, black men how to maneuver if you part of the Kardashian family. You're the first one married to Kim, right?
Absolutely. So, Ray J did not hit it first. Let's put it for the record.
Oh shit, so, he didn't. You right?
That's a lie. That's a song. That's crazy.
He did write a song addressing that.
Yeah, it's gonna be in the book.
Okay. You gotta have a chapter called "I actually hit it first, Ray J."
Nah, I'm not gonna even say.
I just fucking with you.
I'm not even gonna cap and say I'm that, but he definitely didn't do that. So that's just all cap.
He took it from you.
By the way, after Whitney Houston passed away, Ray J manned up. This is 2000. I don't know what year it was, but Ray J came to my studio and said, "Hey man, look, I apologize for." I said, "No man, you ain't gotta apologize to me. I'm okay. You got to worry about when you get married, that coming to you. If you do something, those things come back to you."
Damn, that's deep, bro.
Yeah, I wasn't mad at him. I'm like, let's make some records. I don't care nothing about that. I'm past that heartbreak.
Damn, man, that's deep.
You want to go to the studio? Let's get some money.
Feelings, let's get money. So, what was it like being a part of the Kardashian family?
I'll tell you this: if you're not strong like me, every man can't say what I just said, right? You gotta have a different. Not to forget the Kardashian family. To be in the music business, you got to be strong because there's a lot of people. Everybody wants to point at them, but everybody's doing this to this one, or screwing this one, or doing this one, and you can get hurt. You got to have some tough ass skin. It ain't the Kardashian curse. It's the entertainment business curse. If you're not strong enough to handle it,
I call it the access curse.
Yeah.
Some people get access and then they lose their goddamn mind.
Do you think that what they got is so special that when you go get to it, that it's gonna change your life in a way where you're gonna be down?
Nah,
no,
not me.
It's the industry. Everybody wants to blame it on.
Yeah, I feel like no matter.
I think it's a shallow thought to say
it's everything is temporary. Like,
no, I ain't gonna cap.
No, I'm just saying everything's. What I mean by that is like I never got caught up in the game because I always knew it wasn't real. It was always like it's temporary. Like I remember somebody was telling me that Rodney, one day me and Rodney Jerry was talking, he was just like, man, like at one point in time, because you know Rodney and Mike was best friends. They were. It was close. And Mike, and he was like, you know, Ray, at one point in time, Tommy Mottola was the most powerful person in the music industry, and then the next day he wasn't. So
just like that.
So but is that real power? Is that power? Or was that so that's why I was it's like don't ever get caught up in this shit because you
know the people who survive? People like him and me, because we can go. You got to be able to surf, nigga. Mm-hmm. Get you a surfboard if you want to go marry a Kardashian. You got to be able to ride the wave and dodge, nigga.
Look, dodge what though?
Dodge. It's not them because what comes with them. It's the entertainment business. You know what I mean? Like Kris Jenner is the best surfer on the planet Earth. She figured out how to ride the wave and made everybody wealthy. How you gonna hate on her for that?
That's crazy. Yeah,
Kanye's wealth went up because of that.
Yeah.
He was
all of their wealth went up.
Yeah, everybody. There's two. That was a mutual exchange. They benefited from it.
And now, so what do you think about the child support shit?
Man, shoot, $200,000 a month in child support.
But this is how I looked at it.
Can I say this? If you were a billionaire.
I was about to say, that's $1.6 million a year.
No, it's 2.4 million.
No, I mean, sorry, I'm sorry. It's $2.4 million a year.
$36 million over the time of the kids. I did the math.
But listen, okay, $2.4 million for a year. Ye can get that from a show.
He can.
That's how I looked at it. That's one show.
That's not how I looked at it. She's going to be an amazing mom to his children. And they exchange a lot of things. And I look at it two ways. I think he wants to be the one to say, ain't nobody ever paid that because you ain't never heard of nobody. I think Cristiano Ronaldo pays $100,000.
Yeah.
And he's one of the richest. He's one of the richest on the planet Earth, right? Mm-hmm. So Kanye's at the top of the game when he's saying I paid that $200K, you know. So
I think that first of all, I always say it's relative. When I talk to people, I'm always like, my advice to people is always like, that's relative. So I never forget, I asked somebody one day, I was like, man, you know, coming up, I'm trying to come up, I seen somebody with a house in the pool, and I was like, man, this pool is beautiful, man. Like, how much does it cost to keep this pool up? And he was like, no, I said, no. I said, is it expensive to keep this pool up? And he was like, expensive is relative. What's expensive to you ain't expensive to somebody else.
That's true.
It's just really about how you see it.
That's true.
So if you ain't got 200,000 and you see, or if you got $1 million and you see 200,000, you like, I'm fucked.
Oh, in 5 months, you gone.
But you gotta also look like this.
I'm sorry, 4 months.
No,
five,
you gotta
five.
live. Yeah, exactly.
You gotta live. So 4 months, you gone.
But when you look at it from the standpoint of like, that's just a show. That's literally, he probably made that much money from his listening session at the Dome.
No, he's gonna make that money off of the money that Adidas still gotta pay. They're gonna start to pay.
Of course. That's what I'm saying. So
what people don't realize is he made a contract. It's sort of like, you know how academics be talking about old people, right? Now he's the new guy. Mm-hmm. You got to respect what they pay. Kanye's the new Michael Jordan. His deal is way different.
Yeah.
So he gets to, it's different. He's going to get paid.
Exactly.
No matter, we can call him whatever you want to call him. He's going to get paid.
That's nothing, man. That's not,
Adidas said we're going to put out his shoes without his name on them, but they still have, they still have to pay. So, you know, I make it a habit not to count other people's money. That is the worst.
Well, I just look at it from that. I just look at it from the standpoint of like, I just added up for the year. So if I hear 100,000 a month, I'm like, that's 1.2 million a year.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, if you you might make that in one show. Like, come on, man. Like, it's.
You think so? Here's my question to you. With all this, because I don't know. You know, this is things that you know better than me. You think with all that's we've been talking for 56 minutes. You're gonna need. This is out of control.
I'm telling you, we got to do another.
We got to do a whole bunch of these. Okay, so do you think with and I can be a regular. I can come over here once a week. We can talk music business.
No, bro, we got to. We got
Okay.
to.
I can be like the new
He's
show.
a reoccurring. Yeah, he's a reoccurring
I'm
guest.
on here.
Let's go.
Okay, so
You're the only person that if I'm out of town, you got permission to sit in my seat.
yeah, I'm
and film the
here.
show.
I'm gone.
You
Send
can
me
feel
with
the show.
somebody. I'm gone.
I'm gonna get an alternate sign with your name on it just in case.
I need that. I need that.
Yeah, I got you. Let's do it.
All right, so here we go. What do you think happens after? I thought he would be okay until I saw the thing yesterday.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Now everybody know me know that I love Ye, but the first time I was like, man, come on.
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
too
shit I
much.
saw yesterday with
Yeah, that's too much.
with the Alex Jones thing. But I would say this. I feel like this. I hate to crucify someone for one move. I hate that personally because I just know that I can make a mistake tomorrow, right?
I don't think we're trying to crucify him.
No. What I'm saying is that I try to give a person intent. The thing about Ye that I really say is that, first of all, that was the dumbest shit he could have ever said, right? When he said slavery was the choice, I met him where he was, and I was like, well, I guess it was a choice because you could have just died. You could have just. Some slaves chose to jump off the boat.
Yeah, I'm jumping off the boat.
Jump off the boat and die rather than be a slave. You feel what I'm trying to say? So I guess in that sense, it's like slave. You know what I mean? I always try to understand, and I understand where he was coming from with this. Where he was basically saying, Kanye's problem is that Kanye has a problem with authority. Right? He has a problem with authority. If you pay attention to his whole career, he always went against what looked like the biggest machine. And he did anything he had to do to back his point up. He used any example, right? I remember when he said, hip hop is the opposite of gay. And it was like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, he's always went at whatever the machine is, he's always seen himself as an underdog, right?
So where does that stop?
No, I'm about to say. But I feel bad because I genuinely fuck with him, but I'm like, say me and Damon mad at each other, right? Damon's my brother. I'm mad as fuck at Damon, and I know you hate him. I know you hate everything he represents, but I'm by myself now. I ain't talking to Damon. And you're like, man, come on my platform and let's talk about what you're going through. I could say, man, I want Damon to go to hell. You're gonna be like, yeah, I understand. You know what I'm trying to say? Sometimes you got to be surrounded by people who's like, hey, we can't do that.
Yeah.
Yo, even if he said that on this platform, I would be like, I understand what you're saying, but you got to understand how it's coming off. Because he was basically saying, as a Christian, I love everybody. That's what he was trying to say.
Yeah.
But certain people are the devil's children. And I guess you're supposed to love them too, but whoever the devil's child hurt, when you say you love them, you're basically going against whoever that man hurt.
Yeah, so my thing with that.
So that's a slap in the face of
that's
whoever hurt.
So let's just, like, for me, I have so much respect for the Jewish community, and we work with them, with them, and I just think how does that for him end up? Like, they're not just the president of a label, they run the media. Like, how does that fall out for him at the end of the day is my question, because I don't understand that yet. Nobody's ever done this, by the way.
Yeah, this the one where I was like, man, went too far.
So if you his friend and you got his best interests, what, if anything, can you say to him? What do you say to him?
You can't.
You went too far.
You went too far. That means
I think as a friend, I'll ride with you, but you tripping. Yeah. Yo, David, honest, I love you, but you tripping. Like, you gotta look at, like, if your brother says something like that, you like, man, I love you, bro, but you fucking wrong. And I feel like right now, he doesn't trust anybody. And then I feel like there's people around him who are, that's why I say to artists, man, do not have a manager, anybody in your corner, an agent, anybody in your corner that is afraid of you.
You know, Jay-Z said something smart. I think they asked him a question about Ye, and he was like, sometimes people see things through their eyes differently than you do. Mm-hmm. It was the smartest, most brilliant answer. Yeah. Because it's true. Like, I could be mad at this person. I've been mad at somebody, and I'm going to see it the way I want to see it. Mm-hmm. That doesn't make it factual. You know what I mean? Like you got to at some point have a come to Jesus moment and be real about what's in front of you.
something wrong. Like he need. But when it's you against everybody in your head, you do stupid shit. Like, bro, I love Chris Brown, but remember when Chris Brown thought the world turned on him? Yeah. It was almost like he turned into somebody else because it's like, damn, none of y'all gonna give me the benefit of the doubt. Like to just like it's like say if I start saying something.
Can I tell you what's unfair about him? Everybody wants to. I think because they were talking about the AMA performance, and I work with Chris Brown. Mark Pitts and Tina Davis brought him to me when he was 15. So
you did Take You Down.
Yeah, but that was the second album. I did Take You Down and No Air and all that on the second. I did most of the second album.
Yeah.
So the Underdogs did most of the second album. And but, you know, so if you think about the first album, we didn't have any singles on the first album, but we have 3 or 4 songs on the first album. And but he was 19 years old. Like, and where's the responsibility of the adults of the A&R or whoever? Like, why does that what happened that day he's a kid to me. He's still a teenager. Why did that have to fall on he's wrong. But why are we making him pay for it in 2022?
11 years later, 12 years later.
That's more than
13 years later.
13 years
after
later.
2009? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah. What is that? What does he get an opportunity to?
But that's
if we can forgive Simon and Garfunkel, whichever they did all that weird stuff and they were forgiven.
What the hell did they do?
I don't remember.
I'm
just saying, like some of the bigger white artists, they've done some stuff. You get forgiven, they back in the game. Why is it we crucifying this one artist?
Yeah, I think it's the rejection. The rejection is what turns people into monsters. Like, everybody, I don't think babies are born bad. I don't think kids are born bad. I think humans are rejected.
Right.
And that rejection, for some people, it motivates them. Like, oh, y'all reject me, I'm going to come back stronger. But for some people, it angers them because they like, man, I'm a good person. You reject me? Fuck that. I'm going to hurt everybody.
I think he's at the space now where he's hurt by it. He's not lashing out and doing dumb shit after because I think the AMAs, did you watch the AMAs this year?
No.
They needed his performance. You know what I mean? They needed it. They did.
I think every award show in the world needs Chris Brown performance.
Yeah, he's
that incredible.
He's that. You know, like we don't got 10 Michael Jacksons walking around here, but he's one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And that's not hard. That's a hard thing to do. You know what I mean? You know, so when you talk about publishing and you talk about songs, we got a lot of songs out. We don't got a lot of stars out.
That's what I just said. I always said
there's more hit songs than there are hit songs. I mean, hit songs than there are hit stars.
There are more faceless hit songs than there are faces that we recognize at this point in time.
The American Music Awards came on. 3 artists came on. I had no idea who they were.
Exactly.
Like, they leading it off. I'm just like, who is this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know? But I want to get back to why are you laughing?
I just love
I'm in a space of I feel like, you know, you have to go through, guys, your careers are gonna go like this, right? And you gotta catch the wave, get you a surfboard.
Cap.
Right? We surf.
He said no cap.
And when you want that dip is when the money they ain't coming in the way you want it to come in. That means you got to write your way out of the dip to get back on the top of the wave. Yeah. I'm writing my way back.
You know, LA's famous statement to us was, the only thing after hot is cold.
Yeah, you got.
And the only thing that you could do when you cold is get hot.
Is write your way out of it. Babyface told me that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I was in my first year. I didn't understand publishing, but I had my publishing deal with Babyface. Right? I'm sorry. I didn't understand publishing, but I had my first deal with Babyface. And I wrote a lot of songs for Yab Young Artist, which was his label. And Sylvia Rohn and Tracy Edmonds had a disagreement. So Yab Young was dropped from Elektra. So I'm thinking, I'm moving into my next term the next year. He says, well, no, you're in suspension. I'm like, what is that? What is suspension? How am I in suspension?
It's so much deep shit.
Hold on. I didn't even know. Nobody explained to me what suspension was. So he said, hey, man, I've been in suspension before when I was with Dick Griffey at Solar. And I had to write my way out of it. So guess what you're going to have to do? Write your way out of it. And that's when I wrote These Are the Times I'm Never Gonna. I got mad. I didn't stop coming to work. I wasn't like F Babyface. I kept coming up there, and then I just got hot. That's what got me hot. I have to thank him for suspending me in my thing. I wrote my way out of that deal and entered a $5 million deal with EMI directly after I was done with his deal.
It's something that got to be addressed. Because I ain't going to lie, we got to do like part 5, 6. You understand? Like, I love talking to Damon, but you know what Kevin Hall said to me? Kevin Hall gave me the best advice anybody has ever given me. He asked me one day, how much money do I want for a deal for an artist I was working with? And I was like, I want $750,000, right? And he said, where you get that number from? It was like, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? He was like, no. Where you get that number from? Where you get that $750,000 number from? I was like, he said, be honest, you made that shit up, didn't you? I was like, aren't I supposed
Hell
to?
yeah,
I'm supposed to, right? And he was like, you thinking just like every other nigga out here that think they're gonna come up because I'm saying I want $1 million. And he said, don't say you have a dollar amount in your head without figuring out how the person who gives you the money gets their money back. Shit changed my entire life. It was like every time I thought about a deal, I thought about how.
Well, listen, I knew how I was going to get. I was going to write my way out of every check I got from EMI, and I knew I could do that. I kept recouping. I stayed recouped. You know how hard it is to recoup when you're getting $3 million, $5 million advances. I was doing that all day long with EMI.
It was way easier back then than it is.
Yeah, it was.
Because you can get record sales. Because you have record sales, so you can get a record on. I mean, if you got a record on Chris Brown's first album, it could have been a damn album cut. It don't matter.
Question. Yeah, but I had multiple songs on those albums, and those records, like Justin Timberlake's first album, did 10 million worldwide. One song, I made millions of dollars off of that. No Air made like $5-6 million on my end in royalties, just in public. So that's how you recoup. You gotta write copyrights. You have to. You can't just. Everybody's trying to get away with an album cut, like. First of all, I'm a big fan of the baby, right? I like him. He's cool. I went to his concert. But the song that he did at the American Music Awards, I'm watching him perform, and I'm looking at the crowd.
Okay.
Little Baby. No.
Little Baby. I already said they let the baby perform.
No, Little Baby. And I'm watching him perform from them, and there was they didn't get it. We get it here in Georgia because that's his code, that's his place. But they just didn't, I don't know that they got that when I'm watching an award show.
Exactly.
And I'm thinking to myself, even with him, there's got to be a song that they get, that everybody gets. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that's my thought process. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, I got to be
By the
honest.
way, I think he's the dopest rapper, young
Lil Baby? Yeah, Lil Baby. First of all,
he's the truth.
And he's one of the realest. I think that's making him big.
But he's the realest, but when you talk about the AMA crowd.
Can I just say something? I think, because we're going to have to stop now.
Okay.
But here's the problem. I need you to come back.
I'm coming back.
No,
I got some more questions.
We can do 10 of these.
No. I need you to come back though, seriously, because
can I tell y'all
this
something?
This is our conversations, but I got like 100 questions, bro. We've been talking for over an hour, and I ain't really got to no questions.
That's okay. We're gonna get to it. Let me tell you guys something. I've been in here. I'm here with Ray. I called Ray on Thanksgiving. I called him on Monday 10 times at least. He responded with, "Nigga, can you come and do this thing today?" Yeah. That was his response. That's my friend. Every time he called,
I need you to pull up today.
I'm showing up.
I need you to pull
but
up
next
today.
time y'all go to, I'm saying this for radar.
Oh no, we going before the year's out.
You know what I'm gonna say?
You don't have to say it.
Next time y'all go out to a club and I don't go.
No, we gonna go to Keith Thomas and B Cox night.
Listen, let me tell you what I'm gonna do.
Hold on, didn't you give Keith a hit?
Yeah.
Okay, so Keith. It's time to pay back us now, Keith.
Listen,
we need a discount on. I'm
paintballing your Range Rover. And it's my birthday.
No.
Hold on.
When your birthday?
You missed me because you got sick.
Yeah.
You owe me.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna tell you, I'll be lightweight jealous because Ray be. Hold on, I am a Capricorn. Ray will post happy birthday to his friends.
Nah, man, I'm posting it to you.
No, I didn't get it.
I'm posting it now.
Okay, that's what I need.
No, I'm saying, and when your birthday? Tell me the day.
December 27th, and it's the worst day.
Listen. Hold on. I'm setting the date. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a time. We setting the time, and I'm personally.
You told me to move here. I'm here. Nobody tells me I don't get no birthday celebration.
I'm personally gonna get you a section.
Okay.
I'm gonna pay for it myself, and I'm gonna have the DJ do a Damon Thomas set.
I need that. I need my flowers now. I shouldn't say that.
Nah, nigga,
you said that. That ain't funny. That's not funny. I got scared. I really got scared. I'm not even trying to take that out. I really got scared.
That's good. That's actually amazing that you said I need my flowers.
Do not say that. I didn't say that. Yeah, but
it's like Candyman. You ain't say it 3 times.
No, I didn't say it 3 times. I'm okay.